Yo, what's going on with y'all? This your boy NeohXO bringing y'all the Black Clover chapter 295 review. Now, before we get too deep into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm doing a face reveal at 5,000 subscribers. But anyways, getting into this Black Clover greatness, we got the cover page. You know, sometimes you can about to do a color page and they're usually not directly correlated to the chapter, but they kind of have an overarching theme. Now in this one, they all dressed in black, so you know what that usually means. That usually means somebody is dead, somebody has just died. So maybe that's some foreshadowing right there from Tabata. Now I looked on Twitter and it seems like people are thinking that it's Yami. Now I hope it's not Yami. I don't know why they thinking it's Yami, maybe because he's in the situation that he's in right now. But if you can look at Yami, he's in the picture, he's just facing backwards. I don't know if that's some kind of symbolism. Maybe it could be, maybe it's not. Overall though, without like analyzing it too much, the picture is just pretty cool. We got Asta in the front, you know, he looks very serious, and this is just the Black Bulls. They don't really have any other people from other brigades. So we have Sekre. I think she looks the best out of this whole cover page. I'm just gonna be honest. We got knocked with the rest of the Black Bulls. That's really cool to see because we know for a fact in the beginning of the series, Noct was not in any of these pictures, and it's just really cool to see Noct with the rest of the gang. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about the cover page, but overall I like it and it's pretty cool. Now moving on to the actual chapter, Noelle really going at Vanica, playing no games. You can see the look on Noelle's face of pure determination. She is determined to defeat Vanica by any means necessary, and Gaja is right by her side as well, trying to defeat Vanica in order to get Laura Petrica back. But it actually seems like Gaja is actually more on the Laura Petrica side, and Noelle's just gonna take care of Vanica by herself for the most part. Maybe Gaja comes in and helps a little bit, but Gaja seems to have his hands tied up with Laura Petrica because Laura Petrica is being used as a puppet by Magicula's curse warding magic, and Laura Petrica is basically not in control of her own body. She's pretty much being controlled completely by Vanica and Magicula, so she's basically getting played around with. That's not cool. She's aware of everything that's going on, and I'll go on a little more deep about that in a second. But after we get the initial conversation between Vanica and Noelle, we get a flashback sequence. You know, Yuki Tabata loves these flashback sequences, and it's actually during these sequences that we get some of the most in-depth information. So Noelle ended up, as we know, in Elysia, and when she was speaking to the Dryad informed her that she had a power that she must master. Now, at first, Noelle was confused, and the power that the Dryad was actually talking about was the water spirit. And for a long time now, a lot of people have been speculating and predicting that Noelle would actually get the water spirit. This is because back whenever they actually got defeated by Vanica and Magicula, we see that Undine got cursed as well, and it was something like Magicula wanted to see if she can curse a spirit because she hadn't done that before. So being that Undine was cursed, she lost a lot of her power at that moment, and she needed to regain her strength back to regain her full power, her full capability. So what she ended up doing at that time was going into Noelle's grimoire, and we see kind of the sparkle or the effect that happens whenever, you know, someone gets a spirit happen to Noelle's grimoire. So we were able to predict that this was going to happen, and I think it was still kind of a surprise because we never knew exactly when it was going to happen. But I think that was a safe bet for people to say back then. Now, as far as their interactions with each other, Undine did not want to go into Noelle's grimoire because that's what she just wanted to do, as in abandon Laura Petrica. She actually had to do that in order to regain her strength, in order to rescue Laura Petrica. If not, who would have known what would have happened? Maybe she would have had to, you know, disappear and then reappear decades later into someone else's grimoire. And she explains to Noelle that she really went inside of Noelle's grimoire. It was just kind of right place at the right time, because if not, she would have probably disappeared. And she doesn't really want to be with Noelle at this moment. I can definitely see that changing in the future, especially if this battle goes well. Maybe Laurel is like, you're better off with Noelle or something. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. I might make an actual video talking about this. So if I do make that video, make sure to leave comments and tell me what you guys think, if Noelle's gonna actually keep Undine or if Undine's gonna go back to Laura Petrica, as well as what would you guys prefer. Now, basically, Laura Petrica was not able to utilize Undine's magic to the full capability because she did not even know any offensive magic. People tend to assume that since Laura Petrica is the queen of the Heart Kingdom that she's the most strong person there, when that's just simply not the case. She has not shown us anything that would be damaging to another person to an extent that could possibly end their life or beat them in a fight. She has not shown that. So I don't know why people tend to think that. I do know why. They just assume because she's the queen and Julius is the king that they're just the strongest people in their kingdoms, which is not true for Laura Petrica. And it just is what it is. And they actually explain this really well, and that's what I was thinking the whole time. They explain it as she's just too kind to want to attack other people, so she doesn't have any attack spells. And that makes sense, honestly, because people's mana and their spells are manifestations of themselves. For instance, Luck, he's battle hungry, so he's gonna be a battling mage, you know what I mean? And his magic reflects that. So anyways, moving on. Undine pretty much then goes on to explain that there's other ways of defeating a devil besides just having an arcane stage ability, which I kind of figured from earlier on, because it just doesn't make complete sense for people to not be able to defeat a devil just because there isn't arcane stage. In the world of Black Clover, there's endless possibilities, and I mean endless because it's a world of magic. So magic is just a manifestation of yourself, and there's strong people out there who supposedly wouldn't have been able to defeat a devil, such as Fugelian and Yuno, because they didn't have arcane stage magic. That didn't make sense to me, but now it's explained here that it does make sense, because arcane stage magic isn't the only way to defeat a devil. For instance, Fugelian and Yuno can defeat a devil because they have spirits, so that makes perfect sense. Arcane stage isn't the only thing that can defeat a devil, and I really like that they specified that, at least in this instance here. I'm pretty sure there will possibly be other ways of defeating a devil as well, but for right now, those are the main two: being possessed by a spirit or having arcane stage. And those are perfectly acceptable in my opinion, and it makes sense because Fugelian is very strong and he should be able to take down a devil, as well as Yuno. And now Noelle has a spirit that she can utilize to defeat a devil as well. So sometime during the flashback, Undine and Noelle agree to work together in order to save Laura Petrica. So they have a common goal to save Laura Petrica, and they're gonna work together to do that. Now, whether Undine decides to stay with Noelle after that, that's still to be decided, and we're just gonna have to wait and see on that. But moving back into the part where it's actually them engaging in combat, we see Laura Petrica attacking Gaja, of course not of her own will, and it's going to be interesting to see how Gaja handles this, because it can be interpreted that Gaja actually has a strong emotional connection to Laura Petrica, aka he has feelings for Laura Petrica. So it's going to be interesting to see how that actually turns out. I feel like he wouldn't want to hurt her in any way, shape, or form, so the fact that she doesn't want to hurt him either is kind of adding an extra layer of emotion to their battle. So we're just gonna have to see how that turns out. Vanica's just extremely crazy. We see her just going out and trying to battle against Noelle, and she's just doing it for her own amusement. And it's fairly clear to see that she has no regard for human life, and she's just doing this because it pleases her. And she's saying that Laura Petrica should get pleasure out of doing this as well, but we know Laura Petrica is crying on the inside because that's not something she would ever do if she was in control of her body. Now, at the very end of this chapter, we have a full spread of Noelle's new form when she combines with the water spirit's magic. and in my opinion it looks amazing. Now there's always going to be the haters that say she's underdressed or she's fan service, but at the end of the day, just look at the form for what it is. She looks cold, like she looks really good. I really like this form. I really like it. To me, honestly, this is her best designed form. She has wings and she has a halo over her head. It's kind of cool to see it juxtaposed against Asta, who has devil horns, and it's kind of like an angel versus a devil, if you want to look at it like that. And it's really cool, honestly. It just looks really powerful. You know, it's one of those forms that you look at and you be like, all right, she's meaning business. And just from the looks of this form, this fight right here is going down. Like it's gonna go down in the next chapters. So hopefully you guys stick around and read the next chapters with me, and we discuss those chapters as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. As I said, at 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a face reveal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And with all that being said, it's been your boy NeohXO, and I'm out.